Good afternoon, Americans. This is your favorite alien and Bull Moose Bubba here on the afternoon of Wednesday, September 2nd, 2020. Sitting in for Paul Harvey this afternoon. Stand by for commentary. Well, Americans, as you know, Mr. Paul Harvey tried to give you all kinds of information and to make you look at yourselves in the mirror. And most of you never listened to Paul Harvey, the new generation, I know. From 1965 to 2009, he did various stories, and he always compared the United States to Rome in each story that you did. And I know you guys went out one ear and out the other, right? And nothing stayed in the middle of the noggin. Well, this is one of those where I have to be Paul Harvey today and tell you why. Today, September 2nd, 2020, 75 years ago on September 2nd, 1945, it was the surrender of the Japanese, ending a chapter of World War II aboard the USS Missouri. That's when you see the picture of General Douglas MacArthur accepting the surrender of the Japanese and saying, "This will close a bad chapter in human history, hope never to be repeated again." Boy, Mr. MacArthur, if you're there with Mr. Paul Harvey, you'll know that these humans, especially Americans, have watermelons in their heads. And for you Americans, let me go back to Mr. Paul Harvey. And Mr. Paul Harvey upstairs, I hope you're listening. This date, September 2nd, 1945, would be compared to the Roman history as the death of Trajan in 117 AD. At that time, the Romans were at the height of their power. From there forward, there will be no more conquests. There will just be consolidation of the empire. Same as the United States. They came out of World War II at the height of their power. The number one superpower in the planet. And there was no conquest to be made. They just had to consolidate the power that they had. Well, the successor to Trajan was Hadrian, 117 to 138 AD. That's like saying the successors to Mr. Roosevelt, who were "Give him hell, Harry," and to Dwight David Eisenhower. And there was minor skirmish there. And so with the United States, there was minor skirmish too, otherwise known as the Korean War, okay, which hasn't been ended. That's what happened to the Romans. They started a skirmish with the Persians in Hadrian's empire. Hadrian tried to consolidate the empire by building a wall here in Britain against the Scots, and as he called them, the Parthenades over there, which were the Persians. And from 138, when he died, there were still skirmishes there. It's like when Eisenhower left power in 1961. From 61 to now, the United States power has slowly diminished, same as from 138 to 313 AD. And in 313 AD, Emperor Diocletian passed away. Therefore, there was a vacuum. That's what's happening with the United States today. You got Trump, and you had three presidents that were terrible, same as Diocletian. You had terrible emperors before him that had diluted the power of Rome. So by 313 AD, when he passed away, there was a vacuum. And that's what you got today in the American system. 313 AD, AA, 2020 for the US. Until you Americans realize that Mr. Paul Harvey was right on the money. And look what happened in 313 AD. Constantine came in and he dissected the empire into the West and the Eastern empires. One of them limped along for another 1,000 years. The other one was dead within 90 years of 313. Is that what's going to happen to the U.S.? Well, put it this way. The coffin of the U.S. is already there. The dirt has already been done. And if you elect Hensy or Trumpy Dumpy and Hensy Pensy, or Creepy Joe and Kamala, he was a segregationist, Harris, you're going to end up like the Western Empire, dead. But if you put John Kasich and Tulsi Gabbard, you might have a shot. Maybe another 1,000 years like the Eastern Empire survived, and maybe not limping along. Maybe they can put it back together, not exactly as it was, but maybe 75%. But it's up to you Americans. Sitting in for Paul Harvey today, this is your favorite alien and Boomoose Bubba. Good day.